I don't know how it always happens, but Petesy seems to be the default image every time this hangout starts. It's just a sour-looking Peter Carroll sitting in his room. It's beautiful.
I am sour.
I've gone to all of this effort, and the opening sequence is Peter Carroll's face. He's on a warpath, ladies and gentlemen. This happens all the time. The day before we travel to Las Vegas, Conor McGregor's fighting this Saturday. It's tradition at this stage. A Severe MMA podcast, and we also do a little video cast as well. But I think the tone's been set already. This is Petesy's doing his best mean mugging impression here, lads.
I'll stop now. I'll be nice from now on. Why is Sean gone frozen? Is that everyone knows that, or is he?
No, he's moving.
Am I moving?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's moving.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Petesy, we'll start with you. Just back from UFC London. A nice double header for you. Tell us what was the crack over there.
I was mad. Yeah, it was kind of. Do you know what? The event wasn't going down well with the crowd until that main event. It just wasn't. You know, it was really like people were getting pissed. You could tell. And then they came out and saved the day. It wasn't really a case of that. You know what I mean? Everybody wanted to. Everybody was expecting a lot of finishes, you know what I mean? And even though Pica and Rivera was a good one for the stadium, Musasi and Leighton really just had it. Like, people were just booing throughout the whole fight. Like, they started playing on their phones, like, just shining torches, like, towards the audience. Boo! And then Anderson came out and saved the day. Well, Bisping and Anderson, I suppose. It was mad being there for that fight. That was great. Like, a little bit.
Sean, you are an advocate of this event. You were talking about Michael Bisping's great stuff earlier on in the podcast. From watching it at home, what were you thinking?
I was thinking I can't wait for Conor McGregor versus Nate Diaz. That's what I was thinking. I was like, I'm watching these two shot lads here fighting it out to lose to Luke Rockhold in a couple of months. And I was like, can we just get onto the featherweights? Like, that's what I was thinking. No, that was a good fight. It was, it was fun.
I'm getting dogs because I said Bisping didn't fight the best version of Anderson Silva. Like, are people for real?
Yeah, of course he didn't. That's not even a debate. Like, who said that?
It's absolutely loads of people like, listen, you made a good point, but don't take this victory away from Bisping. He deserved, like, he could have beaten Anderson anytime and all this stuff. You're like, come on, man. No, he couldn't.
No,
absolutely not. Barely did it there, like. Just about.
Yeah, just about, yeah.
Nearly lost, you know what I mean?
What's your take on the third round? Is it a 10-8?
No, because Bisping, I thought Bisping was winning the round well up until the last minute of the round, and then Silva just exploded into action. I don't know, like, I mean, the 10-8 thing is so weird because you never actually, it's so rare that it's actually used. You really need to, like, either take the guy down and mount him for 4.5 minutes, or else, like, literally bludgeon someone to the point of death for like 4 minutes. So I don't really understand the scoring of a 10-8 round because it's. Oh, if he does really well, he gets a 10-8, but nobody ever uses a 10-8 properly. You know what I mean? I rarely see them being used, so I don't think that's a 10-8. Like, under what's meant to be a 10-8, yeah, probably because he came close to finishing the fight, but Bisping was good for that round, man. Up until the last minute, then Silva started firing it all up. I watched it again today.
Sean Sheehan looks like a man that wants to butt in at any second here.
No, I disagree. I kind of disagree. I think Bisping was actually winning, or Anderson was actually winning the third, but I suppose that's a chat for another day. We're not here to speak about that today, but
we're here to talk about the money fight.
We're here to talk about the money fight, yeah.
The fight everyone wants to see. I've been talking to people about it today. They think, for a fan's point of view, from an entertainment point of view, from any point of view, Conor McGregor versus Nate Diaz is a 10 times better fight than Conor McGregor versus Rafael dos Anjos.
Yeah. I don't know about. It's a better fight. It's a fun fight. It's a funner fight. I think the Dos Anjos McGregor fight, from a purely sporting point of view, from a champion versus champion, two guys at their absolute prime, at the top of the world at the moment. I think that's better. But MMA is it's so much about entertainment. I always say it's entertainment and it's sport kind of melded together. And this Diaz McGregor fight is just the personification of that, really. Like, you have these two guys who can talk unbelievably well, who can both fight unbelievably well, and it's going to be a fun fight week coming up.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be just a spectacular fight to watch because I was talking to Roddy today, and he was saying like Conor can't wait to go in there and talk shit with him. Like he just can't wait to get in there and just have the both of them in the middle of the octagon, just screaming mad profanity at each other. That's what I'm looking forward to see. Without even a dig being thrown, I'm excited.
Who do you think, we got a question on the podcast earlier on, who do you think is going to throw more often and maybe the rudest hand gestures, Diaz or McGregor?
Who's going to throw the rudest hand gestures?
Or maybe the most amount of hand gestures?
Conor, I think, because Conor be marching him down, I assume, and he'll have his hands outstretched with all doing whatever he needs to do. It's gonna be like the battle of talking. I'd love to like mic the place. Like they need to have it mic'd really well. Like I want to hear absolutely everything they're saying to each other. Do you know? Because you're usually just picking it up off what Joe Rogan's telling you. So I want them to actually have subtitles going on the bottom as they're fighting.
Someone just running up behind Conor McGregor before he walks out, and they're trying to shove a radio mic down the arse pocket of his trousers. Yeah. And just try not to break this so we can get something good from this fight. One thing though, before we get into maybe the nitty gritty of the fight in particular, the ticket sales. There's a seating chart doing the rounds on Twitter, and there seems to be quite a lot of tickets still available. Even the resellers market looks like they're going to have to sell well below what they paid for originally just to get them sold. Is this a perfect example of why Irish fans can't keep coming to Vegas every 3 months?
Yeah, well, Vegas is kind of a weird town because there's so many events that people, it's mostly filled, I suppose, by people kind of coming into the fights, and like McGregor obviously have a lot of Irish people, and like I presume there was a lot of Brazilians coming in who maybe cancelled, their tickets, cancelled flights and stuff, so maybe that like left a lot left over. But say like if a fight is happening in Dublin or something, that's a big event in Dublin, but this is a big event in Las Vegas, but there's a big event every weekend in Las Vegas, so as we said in the podcast earlier, there's other reasons why these fights are in Las Vegas, because of casinos, because there's so many good hotels, and there's other ways of making money out of it as well. But I'm sure there'll be a fair few of them tickets picked up as the days go down now until Saturday, and I'd say it'll have a pretty full house once Saturday comes.
Petesy, I know you've got a nice wee relationship with a lot of the travelling Irish, usually because they're either always on a flight out with you, or they're nursing your hangover on the way home the next morning. So sorry, you're nursing their hangovers on the way home the next morning. There does seem to be less of a buzz in terms of travelling support.
Well, like the thing that I said about it was the fact that nobody got onto us and was giving out shite, really. Like that's how we knew last time, right? This is going to be a serious problem, because they quickly forgot about it. Let's not forget with Chad Mendes, they forgot about like the fact that they were meant to be angry as soon as Conor started talking about the fight. But this time I haven't heard anyone complaining, really. No one's kind of said, "Oh, I can't believe I'm after spending all this money." Like, and maybe that's because they preferred Diaz as a fight. But I think a lot of it's because there's just not that many Irish going, because like MMA is supported by working class people, but like the vast majority of the fans are from over here. What's 3 trips to Vegas like in the last 10 months? It's really expensive, especially we have to go to work when we're there. Yeah, it is. Like, and we have to go to work when we're over there. Like, we don't really even understand the cost potential that's there. You know what I mean? Like, we don't really spend all that much money, if you know what I mean, while we're there. So like I can only imagine like Irish lads on the rip and Vegas is just there to take all your money, like, so I can imagine there's a crazy amount of money spent, and it's just unfeasible for people to go that many times.
Yeah, to be honest, I think the summer crowd or the winter crowd for Aldo was influenced by maybe people that were able to go again after July, or people that weren't able to afford going in July, so they held off and went to his next fight. Whereas this one, it's kind of stuck bad for the people that have gone to both of them. So I think support-wise, not going to be as vocal. I wouldn't be surprised if the weigh-ins are down in the Studio A and B, maybe not in the MGM arena this time as well. I don't know if that's been released yet, but I wouldn't, maybe a scaled-back version of the MGM arena. And what Sean says is definitely right about tickets being picked up throughout the week. I can still see it's somehow getting past and setting a record for the UFC gate-wise.
Yeah, I just I really hope what what Connor said to you about going to the East Coast happens. Like I even like just going out to Vegas, like the flight from Ireland is absolutely, it just destroys you, and then you come home and it takes you about a month to actually get back to normal. Like just after being in there and the clock that you're on, it really sucks everything out of you, Vegas. So you know, it's unlikely that we'll see him anywhere else, I suppose, especially in his next fight. But it would, just for us traveling over, like, it would be great if he was anywhere else. Anywhere.
I hear what you're saying. The UFC should just scupper all the multi-million-dollar deals that they have with Vegas, and yourself and myself, we'd feel a lot better about getting a flight to Boston. I think we can get on with this.
Is that too much to ask? Is that really too much to ask?
It sounds feasible enough to me. But now, John.
Yes.
I know you've been there. You were teasing this earlier on in the podcast. The big breakdown of this fight is being released tomorrow over on Severe MMA. Do you want to give us a little taster? What do you think this fight is going to look like?
It is, you know, it's tough to know what it's going to look like, really, because I think Petesy kind of said it there a few minutes ago that, you know, I'm not speaking for you, but you expect McGregor to kind of walk him down and be the one going forward. And I kind of do as well, but it might not happen that way, and that's kind of, I think that's where the breakdown of this fight really lies, at how it's going to go, because Diaz is a guy who likes to walk forward, and McGregor is a guy who likes to walk forward. Okay, McGregor likes to counter as well, but when he comes out, what he wants to do, you see him every fight. He comes out, he tries to take the center of the octagon. He throws his big spinning kick. He tries to take the initiative. Diaz likes to do the same, not with the kicks and stuff, but he likes to go out, have his long jab, hold his lead hand out, come in behind it with the straight left hand. You know, similar to what McGregor does. So that's going to be an interesting battle to start, I think. I think McGregor will probably win that battle, even though Diaz is a bigger guy than him, and McGregor usually in his fights he uses his extra length, his extra size over the opponent. So that'll be an interesting part of it. I think the kicks of McGregor, the leg kicks, the high kicks and stuff, will help him to win that initial battle. What do you think, Petesy? You were kind of alluded to a bit earlier.
Yeah, I mean, when you see Diaz being really, really successful, it's like he starts connecting on that jab and the straight, and then he'll back people up until they literally sit against the fence for him, and that's when you see the Diaz, the slap, the kind of flurries coming out where they'll work the body and keep on coming up, just wait for them to switch where they're blocking and just start tagging away, like the
Does
kind of volume.
Petesy know he's on video here and he's shadow boxing in his bedroom?
Well, like, I'm doing a good impression. This is my office. Thank you very much.
Is it?
All
Sorry
right.
about that.
But yeah. So I'd say it's gonna be very hard for Diaz to get Conor to like just to sit against the fence from him. You know what I mean? We've seen the Diaz brothers do it so many times, and you literally see guys just crumble to the mat. Like, eventually, they just take so much they can't deal it anymore, and they just slope down the cage. So I mean, I think it'll be very hard, as I said against Dos Anjos, to get Conor to just move directly back. And then, you know, to cut off the cage to the point where he has nowhere to go apart from put his hands up, and hopefully this flurry will end from Diaz. I think that's where Diaz really shines, but I think it's going to be very difficult to get Conor to move backwards. You very rarely see him move straight backward. If ever. I don't think I've ever seen it, actually.
And when he does move backwards as well, as we saw against Aldo, he's unbelievably good with the counters. Like, coming into the UFC, he was more dangerous as a counter fighter, and it was really until after the injury and until after the Holloway fight. You know, the Holloway fight, he kind of struggled when he was going on the front foot, and it was after that he really started becoming, a pressure fighter with success, if you know what I mean. So look, what McGregor's unbelievably good at is pressuring guys, cutting off the cage, but still keeping the distance where he can strike with them from where he can hit them, but they can't hit him back. When Diaz gets pressure up against guys like Rory McDonald and other guys, when he gets his back put up against the fence, he's usually in an area where the guy's coming in, getting closer to him, and he can come off that fence and get into a war or counter him. But with McGregor, that's going to be tough because, as I said, McGregor will back him up, but he'll keep the distance at the same time. So it's going to be very tough for Diaz to get shots off. McGregor's definitely going to be quicker than him, and he's a lot more varied attacks when he has Diaz in that position. So for Diaz, I think it's tantamount to keep his back off the cage, push McGregor back as much as he can, and try to get the clinch, get him up against the cage, get him down to the ground, whatever he can, just to stop McGregor from pressuring him.
Does this mean the fight is going to end up the two guys in the middle just thumping the head off each other? Neither actually able to through the cost here for every person. It's like neither of them will actually be able to maybe effectively, maybe in the first 1 or 2 rounds, implement the game plan they want to bring the course of the fight. So then we're just stuck. Two guys, I know you like the expression, Sean, two guys fighting in a phone box, take the center of the cage, both of them fighting for position. Alpha male dominance, testosterone full, no weight cut, 170 pounds of pure male adrenaline rushing through both of them, and I'm the bigger dick than you are.
I don't think McGregor will do that. I don't think his style, I don't think that's his style. McGregor, as we said, in and out karate style. He's not going to stand in the pocket. He's all about movement, lateral movement, back and forward movement. Come in, hit the shot, get straight back out, or hit the shot, get to the left, hit the shot, get to the right, throw his kick. He's not a guy that stands in the pocket and trades. He's a guy that comes into the pocket and hits and then gets out of the pocket. So look, if Diaz hits him and puts him off his game, maybe something like that can happen. Or if Diaz can close the distance, to get inside to where McGregor can't get off his kicks or something, yeah, maybe. But I don't see it that way. I see, if it's on the feet, I think it's very hard to get McGregor out of his game, to get him out of his range game, and to get him out of his movement. So I think if it does play out in the feet like that, McGregor will win. But I think the big thing for Diaz is getting the clinch. He loves to get the overhooks in the middle of the cage, push guys against the fence, throw him down, get him down. I think that's where he wins the fight, if he wins it. And I think he knows that. Like Diaz, himself and his brother, when they're up against really good guys, they're very, very defensively good on the feet. You saw Nick against Anderson Silva. He kept that weird high guard like this for the whole, basically the whole fight, because he knew Anderson Silva would be trying to counter him. He knew those shots are coming. Like, these guys are not idiots. They know what they're doing, especially strikers. They've very good boxing and stuff like that. McGregor, a lot of his stuff comes from boxing. But yeah, that's the right thing. I think the kicks will also have a huge factor in it, as I alluded to in the podcast. But maybe we can talk about that in a while again.
We can see body shots playing a big part in this fight. I think because when as Nate is going to be so long, he's going to be showing so much of his body to Conor. I'd say he's going to hammer his body in this fight. I can really see, because we haven't seen Conor really just put on just absolutely destroy someone's body yet, and I'm sure that's something he wants to showcase as well. And because Diaz's torso is so long, it's a massive target. You know what I mean? So if he's going to throw that jab straight, it's just too much area not to hit from McGregor, I think. Whether it's with kicks or with punches. I can see him trying to hit that liver, Miles Price style. Do you like that? Someone watched Brahma and the UFC. Yeah.
Oh, wow. This man has seen it all. Peter Carroll's had a busy weekend.
I was watching it on Press Row. I was watching the BAM on Press Row, and I could hear people giving out about me behind me.
What, UK media or just fans?
No, like the UFC people.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That guy's watching. Well, I suppose it was a bit opposite to what was happening at Bama, where everyone in the press room was trying to get Anderson Silva versus Michael Bisping up on their phone.
It wasn't Dana White and Nicky Tudor at Bama, or what are they giving out to you for?
Oh,
yeah. Did you get a fight, Andrew? No.
Well, no. I said to Dana, look, I'm looking for a fight, and he said, "Sorry, we're not doing an episode in Dublin. I don't know who does that." And
you called out Mike Jackson. Is that true?
Mike Jackson.
Yeah.
Oh no, goodness no. I thought we've been over this. I don't like getting hit.
Just use your blue belt.
It's logical.
It is, in fairness.
It's logical.
The reason not to fight. If we're talking about a couple of other aspects of this fight, we spoke about the trash talking. We spoke about maybe the two guys standing it out. And Sean, you alluded to the grappling, but I think it could be the biggest factor in the fight. But due to the way that the guys fight, or I know you don't think Diaz, you think Diaz will do it. I think Diaz is more than likely going to try and go shot for shot with Conor. I don't think he's going to drag this out. I can imagine everybody putting Nate Diaz down in a chair the night before the fight and say, look, you can make the most money of your life if you try and beat him with wrestling or with jiu-jitsu and tapping him. And I can just see him being like, nah, and then looking to trade leather with him the next night.
I don't think so. I think the Diaz boys are too smart. And I think Nate loves jiu-jitsu as well. I think, you know, he'll have no problem. Like, I'm not saying he's not going to go out and train with McGregor. I think he'll have no problem trading with McGregor, and he'll stand in the pocket and unleash his shots. But I think he'll quickly realise that that's not going to work for him. It's very hard to push McGregor back, and even if you do, he's going to catch you on the counter. Look at Jose Aldo. But Diaz has ways to win this fight. Like I had a lot of people saying to me, maybe people that don't know him that well or stuff, that this is a mismatch. This isn't a mismatch. This fight is happening at 170 pounds. Okay, he's taken on short notice, and there's going to be issues with that. But Diaz has fought at 170 pounds before. McGregor hasn't fought at 170 pounds before. This is, he's gone up 2 weight classes, and McGregor obviously has huge advantages in the fact that he has a full camp, and he's all these sparring preparations and all done. And Diaz is none of that. But Diaz is more, he's more comfortable at the weight, and he's obviously done it before. In the striking, I don't think, as you said there, Diaz come out and he'll try to have an ego trip with McGregor. I don't think he can do that. I don't think McGregor will allow him to do that, to be honest. And if Diaz wins this fight, I think he'll win it. He'll win it with his head, with his head and his shoulders and being smart.
He's going to throw loaves into McGregor. Headbutts. Come on. It's not the smashing machine.
Use your head, Sean, for a man that preaches the unified.
Sean.
No, straightener. That's what he needs.
But do you know what the problem is there? The one thing I'll say about Diaz and his jiu-jitsu, he's obviously got great jiu-jitsu. He doesn't have good takedowns. How is he going to come out to the ground?
Yeah.
That's like, unless he hits him and knocks him down, which I doubt will happen. I haven't ever seen Conor rock, so I'm just, based on averages. I can remember one fight in particular, and it was at 170 that Nate had a lot of good takedowns. Like, he was using judo, but I can't remember who it was he was fighting. But like, that seems to be only the way he can do it. Load someone up on his hips, you know what I mean, throw them down rather than shooting in on a takedown. We rarely see him shooting in for a single or a double leg, and I doubt he's going to do it against Conor, given how explosive his hands are.
Yeah, that's 100%. Yeah, I was writing about that last night. That's how he gets the double overhooks in the middle of the cage and pushes lads against the fence, and then throws them over. Either just kind of hip throws them, or he kind of string throws them, or then gets an underhook and hip throws them. Judo throws and stuff. Or nice trips off against the cage as well. But as you said there, McGregor is very good against the cage. We haven't seen much of him, as a grappler. We saw it a bit against Mendez, but all of those takedowns were kind of in the center of the cage with Mendez turning the corner. He's never really been.
And with Conor on one leg.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's never really been taken down against the cage. Like you saw against Brandao, very good against the cage. Brandao tried to kind of show him. McGregor ended up on top. There's fights back in the day from the local Irish scene where guys push him up against the cage and he's knocked them out from that position with elbows. So McGregor's very, very good with when he's back to the cage. We saw against Mendez, whether he was injured or not. He definitely, there was definitely a way to get him by getting him with takedowns in the middle of the cage. But as you say, that's not Diaz's game. So his trip and throw game against the fence is the way he gets him down. But it's going to be very, very hard against McGregor, I think.
And you can take that to the bank.
Yeah. What is it? Is it this? Am I doing it right?
Money.
Oh, no, yeah, no, your one's better.
Yeah, we'll all do it at the same time. We all do it at the same time?
Yeah.
Ready?
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Money.
What are you doing, Sean?
Screenshot.
Yeah, trying to screenshot on an Android. That's exactly it. Sean, you look like you're about to take the conversation somewhere else before we go.
Did you tell Petesy about my prediction I made in the other podcast earlier?
I did not.
Do you want to hear my prediction, Petesy? I think McGregor's going to knock him out with a hook kick.
I don't know. Like the one thing that sticks out to me about him knocking Nate out with a head kick would be just the sheer height of Nate, I suppose.
Yeah. But Josh Thompson hit him with a nice couple of head kicks, and he's even smaller than McGregor. Diaz has been up with head kicks before. Yeah. Don Cerrone as well knocked him down with a head kick. So I think Diaz is very open to the head kicks. I think this is the fight where McGregor shows that those high kicks, aren't just for show. I think they're real, and I think this is the fight where he shows them.
I hope Nate if Conor beats Nate, I hope Nick jumps in and they have fair boxing.
Yeah. A fair go. Bites his ear
Fair
off.
boxing, baby.
We spoke on that earlier on. If not that they actually start fighting in the cage afterwards, although stranger things have definitely happened. If Conor beats Nate Diaz at 170 pounds, that just sets up the biggest grudge match ever.
But now Bisping wants Diaz. I think that fight makes a lot of sense because I don't think Bisping deserves a title shot. So put him in there with Diaz. Diaz obviously wants to fight. That's a good fight for me. Like, I'd watch that. Anyone else? No.
I don't think you can do anything but give McGregor a title shot after this. You know, you have to.
Whatever weight he chooses.
Yeah, whatever weight he chooses. Like I said it for a while.
Mr. Rockhold.
Rockhold. Yeah. Fucking Mighty Mouse.
Yeah.
McGregor make it happen. But I think if it all depends on GSP coming back. I think if GSP comes back, he'll fight Robbie Lawler at UFC 200. If he doesn't, I think McGregor probably will. And I think if GSP comes back, he'll fight RDA at UFC 200. So I think there's going to be like at least 2 titles on that card.
The problem with what McGregor's doing now is it like he's shutting down divisions because featherweight can't do fucking anything because he's not around. Lightweight, Rafael dos Santos, they have to figure out if Conor's going to fight Rafael dos Santos in his next fight. So all the other contenders in that division are now on ice too. And now to talk with Robbie Lawler, they don't want to put Wonderboy in against Robbie Lawler in case he scalps him, and then it's going to be Conor McGregor versus Wonderboy, and Wonderboy at 170 is no fight for McGregor. I don't think. I don't know. Like that's a pick'em fight. Like, do you know what I mean? Well, like Thompson uses his range so well. It could be the only fight that we could put McGregor in against someone where we're like, right, this is a striker that can beat Conor. Like, next of all, he turns into GSP. You know what I mean? No, I don't know. It's just how I feel about it, and I think. Like, I think Conor beats Robbie Lawler handy. Not handy, I think he beats him. But, like, then what happens if he is the 170 belt? I think he's better off going to 55. Even though, like, at the moment, like as much as the Irish people believe in Conor, can you imagine how much Conor believes in himself right now? Like, it's
not
literally
having to
like
cut weight, eating whatever he wants,
oh,
training whatever.
like this is crazy. Yeah,
luxury cars, the lap, like. He is not, we were saying it earlier on, he is not in the depths of a weight cut at the minute. He is not going to places inside his head that he's counting down the minutes until his next drink of water. He is the happiest Conor McGregor we've ever seen in the UFC.
Audi Attar was telling me there after Bisping's fight, like, I was like, how was Conor? How's his weight? And he goes, he was just at a Brazilian barbecue. It's like, so, you know what they're all about, Andrew? What? Like, they just keep feeding you. And he was like, you know what I mean? So he actually is not he must be the most comfortable time before a fight. And as Conor always tells us, you know, the weight cut is the fight for him. He's already celebrating once he hits that weight limit. So this should be, I can't wait to see him, you know, how he fights at welterweight.
Prediction, Petesy, what do you think? First of all, is there any way Diaz wins? And second of all, what's your prediction?
If he pulls off a move I've witnessed myself, the Andrew McGahon flying triangle, if he can do that, Conor needs to be in seated guard though, trying to hook him up on single leg X. That's the only problem.
Oh yeah, no. So the only way Diaz will hit it is if Conor goes for a single leg and his head's on the outside. That's it. That's money. Otherwise, no.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, Petesy, great way to bring it up. Shout out to Wolfhound Fightwear. Great lads.
Oh yeah,
the inverted edition t-shirt coming soon. A 1 of 1.
I was at my coach Roger has something to do with Wolfhound, so he's like one of the him and Marco and the other guy running together. I don't know all of them. I'm sorry, but I told him that he was dead to me because he gave you a t-shirt before me. And then he goes to me, he's better at jiu-jitsu than you, and he's better looking than you.
Roger,
harsh.
Legend.
Two truths I can't really...
I don't care what Peter Carroll says about you, Roger. You're all right.
He's a dickhead. But fair play to him. He got me there.
But your prediction, Petesy?
This is a prediction brought to you by Sub Only Jiu-Jitsu Fightwear. It's my prediction is second round. He'll knock him out. Conor will knock Diaz out in the second round. I think he's a bit too durable to only be in there for 5 minutes. and that you could take that to the bank. I have to stop using that.
Take it. Sean, what do you reckon?
Yeah, I reckon second round as well. Hook kick to the face.
I think, well, I said second round earlier on today, but I think the finish is going to be a little different. I think, when I say a little different, I still think it's going to look like the other fights. I still think Conor's left is going to somehow connect in whatever way, shape, or form he wants. But I think we're going to see a proper execution of Conor's ground and pound abilities. So Aldo went out cold from that shot and he hit the hammer fist. But I think we're going to see how effective Conor's ground and pound strikes are against a guy who maybe hasn't lost consciousness just yet. You see it in a lot of his training videos and a lot of the stuff that he's been putting online the last couple of months. The way that he can move, and I attribute a lot of that stuff down to Petesy. I know we were talking about it before, the Ido Portal influence. You know what I mean? How easy is it to hammer fist someone when you're actually able to do the deepest squat in the world? I'd say it's very easy, and it's probably also just as easy to be able to transition around someone's body. And if you're doing movements as Peter Carroll is currently demonstrating, like, that's not even a person. You look like a muscle right now, Petesy. Whoa! Calm yourself, please. That is the sort of, like, it's the fluidity on the ground I think that Conor has taken into his game now, and especially the effectiveness in his, I know he's calling himself the executioner. We saw signs of it at the weekend. When Dylan Took finished Mark Andrew with that hammer fist at Bama, completely reminiscent of Conor finishing Dustin Poirier after he had dropped him with the shot. The big one coming from up behind the head, just a hammer fist. I'm going to have to bring Peter Carroll up live here so everyone can see what he's actually doing. Go back there, Petesy. What was that?
That was some movement shit I'm working on at the moment.
Watch this.
I don't want to show too many people in case me and Siri ever have that super fight.
I'm punching out the lights.
Yeah.
Such martial artists.
Can't wait to see Ido.
So, that would be my prediction. I think Conor will stop Nate with ground and pound, maybe in the second or third round. I can see the first round being, there's the all-seeing eye, is it, Petesy?
I don't know.
Dollars ready for tomorrow, or are we getting them changed in the airport?
I've got 5, so we'll be like, please take us to Hooters. We have $5.
From the airport.
Come on, man.
Yeah. Come here. I think we need to go for a proper Irishman's approach to Vegas, right? You, me, Dave, and Graham throw $50 in, put it on red, and there's our hotels paid for.
Yeah, maybe that's the way to do it, man.
If it doesn't work, we all put 100 in on red again.
I'm just going to give Neil Siri a little treat here, actually. Look what I have for the plane, baby. Them Xanax, yo. Ooh! So it's true. I am a junkie.
I was waiting for you to allude to that, but I suppose before PT gets his house raided within the next 12 hours before he flies off to America, there's going to be brilliant coverage, as always, on Severe MMA all this week. Sean's shaking his head because he probably agrees with me. No, I mean, he disagrees with me because his preview's coming out tomorrow, so of course there won't be brilliant coverage all week, but from Wednesday onwards there will be brilliant coverage on Severe MMA as we hit the ground running in Las Vegas. So what about that, Sheehan?
Yeah, I'll have my preview out on Wednesday, so there you go.
Okay, then release it on Wednesday in the spirit of in honor of the man who's fighting this weekend. Exactly, that's what I was going to do, in honor of the man who's fighting this weekend. Thank you very much. This has been the Severe MMA podcast. There's Sean flipping the birds. There's Petesy blowing a kiss. And there's me waving goodbye. See you later. Thanks for watching.
Oh.